start again. It's a rich thing.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Bull Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be discussing the Chicago Bulls and ultimately an interesting story that has come out that half of the front office is split on whether or not we should blow the team up in the sense of trading everybody and just starting all over again, or retooling the team, or keeping the team the same, waiting for Lonzo Ball to come back and running it back with the Chicago Bulls the way that it currently is. And today I'm going to give my opinion on the matter, as well as what I think the Chicago Bulls could potentially or should potentially do in the, foreseeable future, the short-term and the long-term future as well. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and whether or not you believe this team should go for a complete retooling and just transform the team in one way or another. Or do you think the Chicago Bulls should stick with the same team and run it back with Lonzo Ball healthy? Now, before I get any further, did you guys see that video of Mark Eversley when obviously our pick went to the Orlando Magic? Essentially, we got pick 11th and it goes to Orlando. Mark Eversley was furious. He was pissed. He did not look like a very happy general manager for the Chicago Bulls. At the end of the day, it kind of reflects maybe that there is some tension within the front office, and that maybe there is some, decisions that are being made that will split opinion based on this front office. Now, I will say this: I don't terribly think it's a bad idea to have conflict within the organization, because it's very much like having conflict within the fan base, in the sense of people want to rebuild, people want to contend, people want to retool, people want to keep the team the same. You're not going to find one Bulls fan or one unanimous Bulls decision that people are all going to agree with. Everybody's going to have different opinions that are going to affect the way the Chicago Bulls could potentially run in the future. If I was the general manager of the Chicago Bulls, if I was the vice president of the Chicago Bulls, I would have a different opinion, different mindset than maybe how AK would run things. And it goes the same with everybody. So to see that there is a little bit of conflict and there is a little bit of, a divide in the front office, it's not the worst thing in the world, but at the same time, it isn't necessarily pleasant either, because you want people to be on the same page. These are the guys that are making money to make decisions on the Chicago Bulls. That's their whole job, to be able to take care of the Chicago Bulls franchise in general. That's making decisions on players, making decisions based on financing, stuff of that nature, coaching as well, all these things. So you expect them to be on a similar page at least, so things can get done in an effective manner. And that is something that I am worried about in the future, knowing that if there is a split in opinion, then that could definitely hurt the, decision-making process of the Chicago Bulls. And yeah, it is something that I think needs to be rectified in more ways than one. But I don't think it will be at the end of the day. You won't usually get someone fired based on having a different opinion. But if they do have a different opinion and that opinion doesn't necessarily work out, then their job will probably be on the line. But in terms of whether or not the Chicago Bulls should be waiting for Lonzo Ball and run it back with the same team, or whether or not the Chicago Bulls team should retool the team, transform the team, make some trades and do things of that nature, I think it's a very easy decision. And that's why I'm a little bit stunned that people even have this conversation that the front office wants to run it back. I don't think we can keep waiting on Lonzo Ball to run this back. We need to have a backup plan. I'm not saying trade Lonzo Ball. I'm not saying get rid of Lonzo Ball. I'm not saying that we should never ever give Lonzo Ball a chance again. That is not what I'm saying. I know Bulls fans, there are some of them out there that will absolutely be saying those things, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we can't jeopardize more of our future to wait for someone to come back from injury. He's been out for about a season and a half now. He's more likely than not going to be out for 2 seasons and a half essentially now, because he will be out for the majority of next season, if not all of next season. So we don't have that much time to just waste being in the mediocre land where we are now. We've got to make changes to this team to get us back to where we need to be. If you're going to retool the team, retool the team. If you're going to go for a rebuild, rebuild. If you're going to try to compete, try to compete. But I think in all areas, if you want to be mediocre, you keep the team the same. It's the only way that I see it going. That's seriously the result that I feel like will happen if you keep the team the same. Same team, same results. We're going to be in a play-in tournament team at best in my eyes. without Lonzo Ball on the team. And waiting for Lonzo Ball, you're wasting another season. I don't think the Bulls have time to do that. We don't have future draft picks, you know. We don't have our pick this season. We won't have our pick in 2025. You just don't know when Lonzo Ball is going to come back. It's a very unprecedented situation. Not to mention, he might not be the same player when he does come back, which means you still need to make changes regardless. There's no point in waiting, in my opinion. Keep Lonzo Ball here if you like. You don't have to necessarily go for that disabled player exception or that other exception where you're basically saying Lonzo Ball's career is over. You don't need to do any of that. But you need to make trades. You need to sign free agents to make sure that the point guard position is covered. And then make other changes based on where you feel like the changes need to be made. In the shooting, in the rim protection, in the size, whatever it is. But we can't keep this team the same. It's as simple as that. This team is not good enough the way that it is to be a contending team in the NBA playoffs. As I said, I think if you keep this team the same, we are a play-in tournament team. And that's where the Chicago Bulls should not be in any sort of situation. So I don't really know what else to say. I don't necessarily think this is even a close debate, to be honest. If people are really split on this, if you're really just banking on waiting for Lonzo Ball to run it back, I mean, I don't know how patient do Bulls fans need to be in this situation. If Lonzo Ball comes back within next season, at the end of next season, or 2 seasons time, that's great. Most people want Lonzo Ball to A, be healthy, B, be the same player that he can be, and C, if all those things happen, stay with the Chicago Bulls team. We've known for a while, at his best, he is one of the players that makes us the team that we are. And we saw it 2 seasons ago. I'm not saying we would ever win a championship with Lonzo Ball because I don't know. I've not seen this team enough to say something like that. But what I am saying is Lonzo Ball does make us better. There's no conversations about it. If people say Lonzo Ball doesn't make us better, they never really watch Lonzo Ball on this Bulls team. And again, it could just be a Lonzo Ball hater that's responding to this situation. He makes us better, but he doesn't necessarily make us a contending team as of yet. And that's where the Chicago Bulls need to make those changes. We could be a team that will be ready for Lonzo Ball coming back, and we can go and compete if you make changes. It just doesn't make sense to keep this team the way that it is. And it's a bit frustrating that people feel like that in the Bulls organization. But again, I don't necessarily think it's a terrible thing to have a split in opinion. But as long as the decision-making process is not hindered with that, and the Bulls make the right decisions, then I guess I don't really have a problem with people not necessarily having the same opinions, because no one will in terms of being a Bulls fan or a front office. You're not going to get everybody on the exact same page. You'll get people that might disagree with something but will follow suit because everybody else wants it. You might get people that will voice their frustrations and their disagreements. It's just part of the process. It's part of human nature. But that's my opinion. We should not be keeping this team the same going into next season. Majority of our bench is going to be free agents in this offseason. And the core, one of our core pieces is a free agent, and one of them has been heavily talked in almost every single trade department I've ever seen with this Chicago Bulls team. This team will not be the same next season. I'll be absolutely stunned if it will be. I believe it's a possibility, but I'll be stunned if not one change is made and we keep this exact team the way that it is and we run it back. I'll be absolutely stunned if that happened. But it is what it is, and hopefully the Bulls front office can get a grip and see what happens in the future. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.